Hi, my name is Waddles. How's it going? Welcome to a video. The big day, it's finally here. Minecraft Dungeons is now out, and hey, would you take a look at that? What better day for a day one guide than today? That's right, you guessed it. Today, that's exactly the plan. In this video, we'll be going over pretty much everything that you need to know about this game. That'll include some things like what this game even is, some basic controls and UI talk, loot talk, and more. I even have a few beginner tips and tricks that I'll share with you in this video. If you're looking for more of the best Minecraft Dungeons content, stuff that's a little more spicy, it gets a little bit more in-depth, hit that subscribe button, and remember the bell as well. I definitely plan on dropping more Dungeons content. If you're hyped about Dungeons like me, drop a like on this video. Alright, so first, what is it? By the way, if you want to skip around this video, that's fine, that's cool, I won't be that mad at you. I'll leave some timestamps down in the description below. Anyways, Minecraft Dungeons. What is Minecraft Dungeons? Well, Minecraft Dungeons is unlike any Minecraft game before. Minecraft Dungeons is an action-adventure dungeon crawler game. Sounds pretty cool. There is no crafting, no survival grind, no building, no mining in this game. If you're looking for a normal Minecraft, well, probably just buy normal Minecraft or just play it. I feel like everybody's bought Minecraft at this point. What I'm getting at here is this game isn't normal Minecraft, so don't go into it expecting that. In this game, you'll be guided a little bit more. You'll be told what to do a little bit more often. In Dungeons, you'll have things called missions or levels. These missions are fairly linear, at least at the start. More on that later though. You can go back and replay these missions later on. There are different difficult settings as well, so you can make things a little bit more challenging for yourself, or easier if you're a beginner. In these missions, you'll find some familiar Minecraft mobs like the Creeper, as well as some new ones. If you're into loot, well, good news, there's also loot to find along the way too. In this game, the loot will usually be things that'll help you along the way. They're money. Things like arrows, armor, maybe even better weapons, things like that. There's even an enchanting system in this game, but it is really different than vanilla Minecraft. It's pretty nice though. The enchantments can be used to buff up your gear and protect yourself a little bit better, or turn your weapons into total despawning machines. It's actually pretty cool. Overall, if you haven't picked up Dungeons yet and you're thinking about picking up Dungeons, don't go into it expecting a survival game, because this game isn't really a game about survival. Well, I guess it is, but not about crafting and base building and open world and things like that. Dungeons is more of a dungeon crawler game, like dungeon crawlers. In short, Dungeons is really different when compared to normal Minecraft, but it's cool. It's a good different. From what I've played so far, I love it. Now currently, this game is available on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC, so like normal Minecraft, just about everywhere. No phone though. It has local and online multiplayer. That means you can play online with your friends, or you can play in the same room on the same console with your friends if you have them. At launch, unfortunately, this game isn't cross-platform, but according to the fact, the devs hope to make that happen down the road one day with a free update. Speaking of updates, this game will have at least 2 paid DLCs, meaning you gotta buy them, but there are many free updates planned for this game as well, again, according to the fact page. So, it looks like support for this game will be a continued thing, at least in the short term. I really would love to see this game continually receive updates and content into the future, but I guess that'll depend on 2 things: how big of a fan base this game ends up picking up, and what the devs really have in mind and in store for us. Now, on launch day, there'll be 2 separate versions of Minecraft Dungeons available for purchase. We have the Standard Edition, and then the Hero Edition, which costs $10 more. The difference between the 2 versions right now at least is really just cosmetics. You already know your boy went with the Hero Edition. Because I went with the Hero Edition, I have 2 fancy custom skins. One of them looks to be some sort of possessed wandering trader, the other one, some old guy. The Hero Edition also comes with this pretty sweet cape, and of course, who could forget, the star of the show, a baby chicken. Now later on down the road, if you picked up the Hero Edition like me, you'll get 2 DLC packs for free. If you went with the Standard Edition, you'll have to purchase these DLC packs later on. The controls of Minecraft Dungeons are pretty straightforward, so your boy isn't going to waste any time on that kind of stuff. I recommend just jumping into the first mission and playing to get a feel for the controls. They're pretty easy to get down. I played the Dungeons beta on PC quite a bit and definitely preferred my Xbox controller instead of my keyboard though, if you were wondering about that. But if you're on PC and only have a keyboard, don't worry, that'll work fine. So instead of talking about the controls, let's talk about the skins and the UI. Right off the bat, I can see one big question down in the comments below about the different skins. When you start a game, you'll see a bunch of different player skins. The skin represents the profile. That's it. Each skin is statistically the same as all of the other ones. They don't change anything in game. Minecraft Steve, even though he looks pretty good, pretty OP, it's actually just the same as every other skin. Now the UI. Like most other things in the game, it's pretty easy to understand. The in-game UI is pretty straightforward. Along the bottom of the screen, you'll see what is pretty much your hotbar. Right in the center, that heart, that's your health. To the left of that, if you're just starting the game, you'll see 3 empty slots. For now, those slots are going to be useless. Eventually, you'll find extra gear, and that's where the extra gear will go. Those spots are basically for quick access. All the way over on the left is a chest. That's your inventory. Over to the right, we have a health potion that refills your health, a map that's a map. Right next to the map is a little booster icon. In this game, you can roll, but when you roll, you use up a little bit of energy. If you roll, you'll notice that booster icon turn to gray and then slowly refill. Once it refills, you can roll again. Then finally, we have the arrow count and the money count. All of that's pretty straightforward. Inside of the inventory, on the left, you'll see yourself and your current equipment that you have equipped. As you progress later on, the boxes below you will probably start to fill up with gear. The box right above your head is for armor. Your inventory is right on your right. The inventory has different organization tabs that are useful once your inventory starts filling up. If you got the Hero Edition and you're looking for your sweet cape and that baby chicken, you'll have to go into your inventory and scroll all the way over to cosmetics. You can equip them there. Overall though, the UI, it's all pretty straightforward. Just play the game, read the things on screen, and you'll get the hang of it sooner or later. So Minecraft Dungeons is broken up into levels or missions. Each mission has its own mission that needs to be accomplished, its own goal. These missions are obviously going to get a little bit more tricky and challenging as you go on. Missions will also get longer. There is a difficulty setting to make the difficulty harder and easier, like I mentioned earlier, in the game as well. Starting off, the early maps, the early levels where you take on these missions are fairly linear. For the most part, there's pretty much one start and one end. A little bit of sidetracking, but not much. As you get farther along in the game though, the missions definitely get a whole lot more expansive and a whole lot more large. In the beta, I played one mission for like an hour over on my Twitch. It was pretty cool, and I didn't even get to check everything out. Near the end, I just started taking shortcuts. Certain pieces of each mission will never change. Even farther along in the game, when the maps get really big, certain aspects of these missions will remain in the same exact spot. Where things start to get a little bit more interesting, however, is off of the main path. If you take your time to explore and loot once, then come back to that mission a little later on, a different time, things should be a little bit different actually. In short, the levels are partially randomly generated. The paths and loot and mobs found inside of a mission can change from time to time, but the main goal, that should be pretty much the same each time. This mechanic was designed to keep the game interesting long term. Now I can't confirm this next part, I haven't tested it quite yet, but I have a feeling that the game's difficulty setting might have something to do with how good the loot is that you find inside of each mission. Again, haven't tested that though, so don't quote me on it. While you're taking on a mission, you should notice a little guide marker on screen pointing you in the general direction that you're meant to go. Well, let's say your job is to rescue the villagers. You'll have a marker on screen pointing you in the direction of the villagers, but the path might not be as straightforward. You might have to do some twists and turns to actually get there. Thankfully, this game has a built-in map that'll fill in as you go, and that map should help you if you end up getting lost. Finally, let's talk a little bit more about that tasty loot, the gear, the enchantments. Now right now, I don't have very many big brain tips or big pieces of advice when it comes to finding good loot or the enchantments that you should be going with, but your guy does have some basic tips, medium brain tips. So first, loot. Of course, who doesn't want more loot, better loot? When it comes to finding good loot, take your time and look around inside of the missions. From what I've played in the beta and in the full release, the coolest stuff that I've found hasn't actually been found on the main path. I've found the best stuff off of the main path. Now really, this could just come down to luck. Maybe I'm just like unlucky and only find the best stuff in the weirdest corners of the maps, but looking around still doesn't hurt. In one of the missions I was playing, I found what seemed to be some sort of hidden room or dungeon inside of the map. I didn't actually have to go inside of this hidden room or mini dungeon to actually complete the level, so if I didn't look around, I wouldn't have ever found this thing, would have totally just missed it. Inside, there were some mobs that were pretty easy to take out, and then inside of a chest, I found a pretty sick wolf armor. Like, it made me look like a dog, kind of, but not in a weird way. Okay, moving on. So, take your time and look around inside of the levels. You never know what you could find. Use your map for sure. Check it every once in a while to make sure you're not missing anything and you've seen everything. The map will fill in as you go. Thankfully, the game provides you with a pretty easy way to tell what equipment is better, but I recommend just hoarding everything, taking it back to the camp, and selling the extra stuff that you don't want to keep. Now, enchantments. The enchanting system is really different in this game. First, you'll need to level up to enchant. When you level up, you'll be rewarded with an enchantment point. You can use that enchantment point to enchant a tool. Pretty straightforward. When it comes to the enchantments, I recommend enchanting tools and taking enchantments that fit your playstyle. If you like to fight up close with your sword, then enchant your sword. If you find yourself using the bow more, enchant that. If you don't like the sounds of any of the enchantments, then just wait. Waiting is fine and a good thing to do. You can save your enchantment points for later on, they won't go away. Plus, you'll probably end up finding a new and probably better weapon later on. If you didn't like any of your enchantments before and you just saved that enchantment point, you could then enchant that brand new weapon right away instead of having to wait. Armor can also be enchanted, but I mean, come on. Glowy armor is cool and all, but like, fire sword, definitely better. At least in my opinion. Up to you though, you could enchant your armor too. Tools that are exactly the same, identical in every way, so say one sword and another sword, can actually have different enchanting options as well. So there's another reason to wait if you don't like the sounds of any of your enchantments. When it comes to enchanting in this game, patience is key. If you're into exploring, you'll probably end up finding quite a bit of weapons and armor. It's much better to save your enchanting points and take an enchantment that you actually want than just taking a random one. And so, elites, that is pretty much everything that you should know when going into Minecraft Dungeons for your very first time. This game, from what I've played so far, is seriously really fun. I love it. By the way, in case you were wondering, the video, it's not sponsored. These are all my genuine thoughts and opinions. Anyways, though, if you play Dungeons, go down in the comments and drop one big tip. What kind of Dungeons video would you like to see next from me? If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed quite yet. Like I said, more Dungeons content, it's on the way. Today, I'd like to send a big shout out to my guy, Austin T from California. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, stay fresh, gamers. I'll see you tomorrow with the next daily video. Goodbye.